Hi guys, I'm Gesha. Welcome to the channel, to my wonderland. It is coffee time and today I bring you a tag, and that is the International Booktuber tag.
It's coffee time!
I was tagged by Reader Life and I'm going to leave down below a link to her channel in case you want to check her out. She's a really cool girl from Slovenia. So this tag was created for international booktubers, and most of us still do booktube in English, but we come from different, backgrounds, and English, it's not our mother language. So I'm originally from Spain, but I live in Germany and I make my videos in English. I think I just answered the first question, so let's get to the questions before I tell you all about it. The first question is, where are you from and what is your native language? So I'm from Spain. I was originally born in Spain. I came to Germany when I was around 24, I believe, years old, and I've been living here ever since. And so my native language is Spanish. Question number 2 is, in which languages do you read books? So when I was growing up, obviously I read everything in Spanish, but then when I started learning English, I started to read more books in English, and I discovered, the love for original texts. And when I moved to Germany, I started also reading some books in German, but by German authors. So what I do now is basically I do most of my reading in English just because the original book is in English. But if I want to read an author that is Spanish, I would read the original. And if I want to read an author that writes in German, I will also read the original. So basically, I am fluent enough in Spanish, English, and German that I can read books in all those 3 languages. So whichever the original text is in, that's the one that I would pick. Question number 3 is there a booktube in your native language, and how is the community like? I think there is, because Latin America speaks Spanish, and in Spain we speak Spanish, and so there's probably a lot of beautiful channels out there. However, I started getting obsessed with Booktube when I was already living in Germany, so I don't really know how the Spanish Booktube community is because I've never participated or really watched videos. I already started watching Booktube videos from people whose, native language was English, and so I don't really know. Question number 4 is, if there is a community in your native language, why did you choose to join the International Booktube? Well, I kind of already answered this. Basically, it's because I started watching the international booktubers. I already started watching, people whose native language was English, and I decided to join the community and do my videos in English because I just thought that most of the books I was reading were in English, and that, I could maybe not express myself as in detail as I could do so in my native language, and sometimes I still do struggle with the language, but I feel like it allows me to connect from people all over the world, literally, and it's very satisfying. And I just think that the community is way bigger, and you can be part of a bigger community and get to know so many people. And I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do for me. My other channel that I already had before I chose to open the Booktube channel was already also always in English, just thinking, that there is a wider community. Question number 5 is, are there any struggles or challenges for you as a non-native English speaker? Well, of course, sometimes, I want to say something and I have it nearly there on the tip of my tongue, but I cannot come up with a word. And then sometimes I'm editing and I'm like, why the heck didn't you use this or that word? Why did you explain yourself so poorly? But you have to keep in mind that it is not our native language, so sometimes expressing ourselves might not be as easy, and we might not use such big words as other native English speakers might use to describe things or books. But I think it's also a process. Like, I feel like I'm a little bit more secure and I feel a little bit better filming myself in English, especially since I started Booktube. At the beginning I was very like a stick there and I didn't know how to express things, but the more you comment on books, the more you review books and you do wrap-ups and you hear so many people in the community, you kind of start catching all the language, all the words, and they kind of stay there in your brain. Every day at work I speak English, German, and English. Every time I pick up the phone, it can be either one of them, and so I'm used to changing between languages a lot. And sometimes, I have just brain farts and I just cannot remember a specific word that I want to use, but that is totally normal. I think everybody that speaks more than one language has the same problem. And as long as you're putting your heart and all your effort in your videos, that's going to show, or hopefully it does. And just keep on doing it. The fact that you're a non-native speaker doesn't mean that you don't put out there great content. I do follow international booktubers and I think they're great. Question number 6 is, how do you get hold of English books? So I have tried in Germany to go to bookstores and pick up English books because I do want to support the bookstores. However, when you go to a bookstore here, they have a small section that has English books, international books, and they just don't have a wide variety of books. They mostly only have like new releases and classics, and that's it. And I have noticed that through the years they have less and less hardbacks. Now, I'm not a person that needs to buy everything in hardback, but sometimes, depending on the author or the book, I want the hardback for reasons like Stephen King or other things that I like to collect. And then you go there and they don't have it, and if they do, it's like so overpriced that you just want to cry. So even though you want to support them, the prices are just ridiculous, and I can get them, for half the price maybe on Amazon or somewhere else, or Book Depository that also ship to Germany. It takes a couple weeks for it to come, but it does come in the end. And I have to think that even though I want to support the bookstores, the prices they're just really overpriced for no reason, just because they have to import them. Like, I want to support the bookstores, but I also need to look for my monies, and I can get more books if I get them, for example, through Amazon, Book Depository, or things like that. And so why wouldn't I do it? Number 7 is, what is the best part of being part of the international booktube community? And it says you can answer this in your native language and put subtitles. So I've never had to put subtitles on my videos, so we're gonna try this and see what happens. So I'm going to try to explain the answer to this question for you in my native language. This is not gonna be weird at all. La mejor parte de estar en el Booktube internacional es que conoces a gente de todo el mundo y cada uno tiene, digamos, una impresión diferente en los libros. Creo que es súper importante el poder conectar con gente de otros países que tiene otras experiencias en la vida, que a lo mejor es de otra raza y tiene puntos de vista totalmente diferentes y piensa en cosas que a lo mejor tú no pensaste cuando leíste el libro. Además, te ayuda a conocer gente de todo el mundo, y si hacen pues blogs y cosas así, también puedes ver un poco de dónde viven y qué es lo que hacen en su día a día, y me parece súper interesante. That was a lot harder than I thought because I'm not used to talking books like this in Spanish, and it was a little bit messy, but I'm gonna try to put the subtitles there. I hope it worked. Number 8 is, do you follow any other international channels from booktubers, and if so, which is the one that you found out recently? So when I subscribe to people, I don't look to see where they live, where they come from, if English is their native language or not. I just subscribe for the content, for the person, the personality, maybe because I like the type of books that they are recommending, or because they're recommending books that normally I don't read. So it's great to get some opinions from them and some recommendations from them because they're the experts maybe on that genre. But funny enough, the person that tagged me in this tag, Reader Life, is somebody that I had discovered recently, and she is from Slovenia, and I love her. She's a sweetheart, and I love her videos and her input, and I watched her international tag video, and it was really interesting also to hear her experiences. And we ended up talking a little bit in the comments, and we realized that we have so much in common. Like, we have the same fears, like, am I gonna screw up? Am I gonna find the right words to describe this? So I think it's interesting to talk to people that have international channels. If you have an international channel, leave a comment down below to let me know so that I can go check you out. I just think it's important not to be like, I'm only gonna follow specific people that only talk about this specific type of books. I mean, if that's your jam, go ahead. But I think it's healthy to follow totally different types of channels so you get different inputs. You know, I follow people that love sci-fi, I follow people that love horror, and I follow people also that love contemporary, because contemporary is something that I am not most comfortable reading. Like, I read some contemporary, but it's not my first choice. But I love to hear from different people that I know they are experts in contemporary, so that I know which ones are the good ones and how to avoid the bad ones. So I think it's super important to follow different kind of people that, you know, read different type of books that come from different parts of the world. It just makes your life richer in all possible ways. And number 9 is tag your fellow international booktubers. So what I'm gonna do is, when I edit this video, I'm going to go through all the people that I'm subscribed to, which is a lot, and I'm gonna try to find some international booktubers in there, and I'm gonna leave them down below, and I'll try to tag them also in Twitter so that they're aware that they've been tagged. Because, you know, I couldn't tell you any from the top of my head, because like I said, when I subscribe to channels, I don't look into, is this person a native English speaker? Is this person international? I just don't do that, so I'm not really sure. I probably have a bunch on my list of channels that I'm subscribed to, so I'm gonna go through there and handpick a couple of you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this tag. Remember to check out Reader Life's channel. I'm gonna leave the link down below. Let me know what you thought about this and if you understood my part in Spanish. Embarrassing, I know. Thank you guys for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe for support. All my other social media is listed down below in case you want to check it out. And I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!